Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a Silver Stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 31st day of January, 2022, I'd like to welcome you over to JM Bullion so we can look at the live spot prices. So gold is down $1.47 to $17.97.77. Silver's up 4 cents to $22.62. Platinum down 63 cents to $10.26.43. And palladium up $43.72 to $24.50.27. In stock silver, 725 pieces. Next stop today over here is Numismatic News, and there's an article by Patrick A. Heller dated January 27, 2022. Title of the article is "What is Inflation?" And we're going to be relating this to United States Mint products here. And it's really interesting how this has been happening for quite some time, and we should be all of us should be able to relate to this. So what is inflation? Well, in order to have a sensible discussion of it, you first need to define it. In classical economics, inflation has two general definitions. One, an increase in the money supply, or two, an increase in the money supply that is greater than the increase in the production of goods or services. Almost always, when you have a greater amount of money chasing goods and services, the costs for raw materials, labor, overhead, and capital costs increase, which results in higher consumer prices. We've all seen that going on right now, right? Now, these rising prices are the outcome of the effects of inflation and are not in itself inflation. So if you see on the legacy news how they say these rising prices is inflation, well, no, it's the money supply that's inflation, right? And you can ask Meneco 64 about that. Now, these rising prices, if you look at it from the opposite direction, reflects a decline in the purchasing power of the monetary unit. All you have to do is take dollars out of the United States, and you can find that out rather quickly. Now, because of the close association of inflation of the money supply and rising prices, today a high percentage of people consider the rising prices themselves to be what they mean by inflation. And we talked about that here a minute ago, and that's not what's inflation. Even definitions of the word inflation will list this characteristic, right? And I think the older definitions from the 1960s and 50s of inflation covers these two definitions because, let's face it, definitions of words change over time to suit maybe ideological needs, maybe other needs. Now it says here, coins were created to facilitate commerce through the use of standardized money units. Initially, these values were solely dependent on the value of the metal in the coins, right? Like silver or gold. Regrettably, I don't like saying unfortunately, because unfortunate means like you had some luck or unlucky moment. So inflation of the money supply has been around almost since the first coins were struck over 2,600 years ago. Just to give you an example, here's how ancient Rome experienced inflation of the money supply, depreciation of the currency over time, as exemplified by the silver denarius and its successor, the antonarius. I probably just ruined that one. Declared by law equal to 2 of the denaries. So here we go in 211 BC, introduction of the denarius. I'm so ruining that. I'm just going to call that D from now on. So it was 4.55 grams of 95 to 98% pure silver, okay? Then when this guy took over in 44 BC, it went from 3.9 grams, right? So 4.5 to 3.9, same percent silver, okay? But we're getting lower weight. So doesn't this sound familiar, right? We're getting lower weight. And we do know that the mint increased the percent of pure silver, went from 90% to 99%. But that's neither here nor there right now because they are lowering the grams. Now in 64 AD, Nero went from 3.4 grams from the 3.9, and check this out, lowered the percent silver in their coins, right? So there wasn't 90% silver, it was 93% silver. And look at this, this was 148. Antonius Pius kept the 3 grams, but went lower on the percentage of pure silver. So they kept the weight, but less silver. And then 235, Severus Alexander had this double denarius, 3.41 grams of 50% pure silver, and so on and so forth. Look at this. 238, it went to 2% pure silver. And then in Aurelian Antonianus, I don't even want to say that word, 3.41 grams of 5% pure silver. So you can see what's going on here, folks. There's a devaluation of the currency, right? I mean, during the Middle Ages, a common practice was to shave off metal around the edges of coins, called clipping. And that's why you'll find reeded edges today, right? Because if you have a reeded edge, you'll see if the coin's edge has been clipped, right? So instead of looking like a full moon, it'll look like a day or two after the full moon, right? Where like the southwest corner is a little bit not as round as the rest, and that's how you can kind of see it. So thank goodness for reeded edge coins. Otherwise, we'd have plenty more of this happening with our precious metal coins. Now, in order to put the smaller piece back into circulation, when done at the orders of the ruler, the recovered metal was usually then used to strike more coins to increase the monetary supply. So would you look at that? Even rulers did a little bit of clipping themselves. Today, with the global monetary units no longer tied to fixed weights and purities of precious metals, governments can more easily inflate the money supply through simply striking more base metal coins or printing more currency, or even easier, simply entering bookkeeping entries on a computer. What does that even mean? Over history, inflation of the money supply has been a frequent reason for the collapse of various forms of money. It is even in the process here in America, where the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar has fallen more than 98% against an ounce of gold since early 1933. And there it is. I think that writing is definitely on the wall. So let's go here to the United States mints. Yep, that's right. Great place to check it out. The what we just been talking about, the inflation. So we're going to go to the next step here. And this is the America the Beautiful quarters. And this is from 2020. And this is from the Silver Proof Set quarters. Now, earlier in that year, I think in 2020, this was $42. It may have been $42 in 2019. But either way, the point is it went from 42 to 60. Now, and let me tell you, it was 3 nines fine silver, okay, which is awesome, which is outstanding. Like there it is, 3 nines fine silver. The weight, though, of all of these coins was 6.343 grams. Well, let's go here to the American Women Quarters Silver Proof Set, and we can see, okay, let me go to the price first. This is $73. So we were looking at, what, $60 there, and we were looking at 42. Now we're looking at $73 for a March 29th drop. And honestly, since March 29th, about 2 months away, this product could easily increase in price to $75 or $85 here in the next 2 months. I would suspect that would be the case. And on top of that, now the composition is still 3 nines fine silver. However, the crucial detail here to focus on is the silver weight, and each coin is 0.199 troy ounce. So it doesn't even add up to 1 whole ounce in these particular quarters. And they are not bragging about that here at all. Because last time they were like, yeah, look at this, silver content, look what you get. But here they're not bragging about that at all, because maybe it's shameful, who knows? Maybe they don't feel very good about what they've done, because they didn't come out and say it to the public saying, hey, look, we raised the price and lowered the content of the weight. Gosh, sorry. Nothing like that. Nothing happened there. Next up here, I think we're done. Wanted to talk about the ramifications and implications of the lower weight silver quarters. Now we know that, let's go ahead and show this. These are 14 items, is a set from San Francisco. And what's going to be affected by the lower silver weight, right? So we're looking here at the silver proof set. That'll have a lower weight for the 5 quarters, as well as the limited edition 2022 silver proof set. So all of these changes that the United States Mint has made for the American Women Quarters program, for those silver proof quarters in particular, has affected 2 other products down the line. And will they continue this inflationary environment next year and the year after that? I would suspect yes. So here we are, about 8.5 minutes, almost 9 minutes in here, folks, and I want to take it to my +1 today. And I appreciate you hanging out this long, and here we go. The +1 today is called Stumbling Blocks and Speed Bumps. And I was watching an episode of Undercover Boss from January 28th. It was season 11, episode 4. It was called Rita's Ice. And I will leave a link to the CBS Undercover whatever Boss link here. But I wanted to show you this, and it made me think of this. I wanted to I had to share this with you. So, stumbling blocks and speed bumps. And honestly, let's face it, when we look at our world, sometimes we sit there and cry tears of joy and tears of sadness, right? And I think probably a lot of people are doing a little bit of both right now. So, when we recognize an obstacle that someone is struggling with in life that prevents them from living their best life, Well, it's our responsibility to assist and aid that person in overcoming that obstacle, particularly those with disabilities, both physical or mental, doesn't matter which. We are morally obligated to remove or lessen these stumbling blocks. And honestly, shame on us if we're the ones setting up these roadblocks. So there it is, folks. I really want to thank you for hanging out this long. Thanks for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you're hearing, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker.